at yourself! My family belongs in a penthouse, and you belong on the street.
My heart like a sharp knife. Standing in the freezing Chicago rain, I watched the only woman I ever loved slam the door of my face in my face. My name is Austin. I grew up in a small, quiet town, working long hours just to get by. But when I met Chloe, I thought I had found my entire
Love is all
world.
that matters.
She was beautiful, wealthy, and full of promises. She told me that love was all that mattered. She convinced me
Come
to
with
leave
me.
my job, my
Trust
home,
me.
and my quiet life behind to follow her to the big city. I trusted her with every single piece of my heart. But the moment we arrived in Chicago, the sweet girl I knew completely vanished. Chloe's wealthy family looked at me with pure disgust. To them, I was
Cheap
just a
clothes
penniless
for a
outsider
cheap
trying to steal their
background.
daughter's fortune. They mocked my cheap clothes and my simple background at every family dinner. I looked at Chloe, hoping she would stand up for me, but she just looked away. The
No.
pressure from her parents eventually turned her heart into ice.
One evening, her father called me into his private office. "You don't match our status, young man," he said, throwing a small envelope on the desk. "Take this money and return to whatever hole you came from." I refused the cash and walked out, looking for Chloe to tell her what happened. But when I found her, she didn't offer any comfort. Instead, she looked at me with cold, unfamiliar eyes
Look
and
at yourself.
uttered those unforgettable, cruel words. I had nowhere to go. I had spent the last of my savings on a train ticket to this city, believing in a false promise. That night, I walked down the empty, dark streets of Chicago with nothing but a small backpack. The wind was freezing, and the rain soaked through my thin jacket. My phone was completely silent. No calls, no messages, no love. I sat on a cold park bench, trembling from the cold and the deep ache in my chest. I closed my eyes, and tears streamed down my face. I held my hands together and looked up at the dark sky.
God, please protect me. I have no one left in this world. Please just guide my steps.
That was the exact moment I made a choice to disappear from her world forever. Years passed, and no one in that wealthy circle ever heard from Austin again. He left Chicago that very night, stepping onto a bus heading west, leaving the pain behind. Chloe eventually married a wealthy man chosen by her parents, living in the penthouse she always wanted. But money could not buy happiness, and her home was filled with emptiness and silent arguments. Sometimes, on rainy nights, she stands by her large window, looking down at the cold streets below. She remembers the honest, loving boy she cruelly chased away into the storm. She often whispers a silent
wherever
prayer,
you are.
hoping he is safe wherever he is, but it is far too late. True love is not measured by the height of a building or the size of a bank account. When you value pride over a pure heart, you lose the only treasure that actually matters.